All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes before the group Zoom call starts for today, and I'm just going to be showing off the signal charts while we are waiting.
Recording in progress.
Just about to go top of the hour. So there we go, 10 a.m. my side. So for many of you, you might not know, I'm actually based on the Gold Coast of Australia, so quite away from the US. So a lot of the members of the DTB system, or a lot of the subscribers, are based in the US. So it's a good time to catch up this time of the day, which is just after market open. It's just gone 7 p.m. in New York. So a good time, to catch up before the trading week begins, to see, what we're going to do for the week ahead. And it works well for me too, the time. So that's really awesome. So thanks for jumping on, Bruce. We may have to see if this time needs to be adjusted for anybody else, but we'll review that as we go. Okay, so before we jump into the charts, let me just take off this video for a sec. All right, and move this out the way. So last week I released a video, and it was more for the guys, first using the tools, first using NinjaTrader and jumping into some tools that are really effective. So a lot of you guys would have, the guys that are not currently members of the DTB system, you would have enrolled or signed up for that complimentary indicator, and then loaded up the workspace. So all of that is included with the indicator tool set. So we're going to quickly have a look at that right now before we jump into the rest of the DTB tools for the members. So I covered this briefly on the video that I released last week, but basically what happens is at the beginning of every session, you're going to have these markers actually reset, and they're going to show remnants of the previous signal from the previous day. So what will happen is you may see on your chart, you may see two numbers but no dotted line, and that's only at the very beginning of the session. So what that's doing is it's showing you where the previous signal was at the end of last week or the last trading day. And as soon as these signals present, and this is even with the full with the members tools, the full volume breakout, is these values are going to plot the tick values, and the dotted line is going to plot in between them. So you'll notice that as price moves, this dotted line will stay behind, and the tick values that it displays over there is how many ticks the price has moved on since that market presented. So at the beginning of the session, so you'll see there's 6 p.m. So the market actually opened over here. We had an orange marker left behind almost immediately. Okay, so that got left behind. The price dropped a little bit. It went up, and then at this very point over here on this bar at 604, 605, this marker was left behind. And if you go and run playback on today, if you go run playback on the data today, you'll see this happen in real time on the data. So this marker got left behind, the bar closed, the price basically went 10 ticks up. So from where this marker stayed in place, on the bar that it plotted, the price went up 10 ticks, and since then the price has gone down 99 ticks. So it went down, we had a marker left behind over here, a brief rise, almost to retest the existing marker, came down again, this marker went up 25, the price went up 25, and the price dropped 70. So these are going to constantly plot, and you'll see price reversals, you'll see the buyers took control again, we had some divergences over here, and then the sellers, you know, took over price, retesting these volume breakout markers, and here we are again. So you'll see this happening beautifully on the chart, and you'll see across the different ranges. Now for the US session, you will need to just increase the size of your bars. So I'm using the 10 range over here for the Asian session, but you can definitely increase this to even a 30 range, 40 range, especially when you're trading the much more active sessions in the US. Okay, so there's like a 30 range. You can see even clearer on there, you know, how the momentum line is facing down. So we always knew that this price is going down. Okay, so that's what this is showing. We do have, you know, the price dipping over here, making a little bit of a high, but ultimately still showing down at this stage. Now, at any moment, this momentum line could change direction and go up, and then the price could go up. But right now, it's showing us that the likelihood of price going down is stronger than going up, and it's up to the tick. So right now, up to the tick, this is what it's kind of showing us. You know, the sellers are currently in control. The markers are above. You know, those are the points of interest. So if you load up your chart now, that's what you will see. So it works again. It's the workspace. So you can go to workspace and then load it up. So if you have downloaded the complementary indicator set, and you've downloaded the workspaces, and you've downloaded all the templates for the indicators, this is exactly what your chart will look like. And I think on these charts, I've got like 3 or 5 days loaded. So generally at the beginning of the trading week, you want to have, you know, especially on a Sunday, because there's no trading on the, you know, on the Saturday and Sunday. The last data is Friday, so you can't load one day on here because it won't have any data. It'll only have the very beginning of the market. So on a Sunday, it's always good to load 3 days as your minimum, but as you go on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can limit that down to 2 days and then 1 day, and 1 day will still show 3 days for some reason. I don't know, that's what happens on here. Okay, so you know, that is that. And even the MES has shown some incredible signals to begin the trading day. So again, there we had the open of the market, we had this marker left behind, the price has dropped 23 ticks since that marker presented. So all of these signals are there for the taking, you know, and as I mentioned on the previous video, it's just, you just got to have some good money management plan in place so that you don't over trade this. Okay, so I'm going to step away from that. Okay, so I'm going to just go to my workspace that I was working on a few minutes ago, which was the DTB indicator sample combo. So again, this is our, you know, the full suite of DTB products, and this is our signal chart. So this is one of the workspaces that I've actually created. So if you go back to the workspaces, you'll see, you know, it's called the DTB indicator sample. So this one over here. Now you'll notice on this, I've got a slightly larger range. I've got a 20 range over there. Momentum line is slightly facing up. So depending on the size of the bars that you are actively trading, you know, it's a good idea to have a few different size bars that you are monitoring, because you want to be able to pick up a change in direction. So on our last chart, we saw the momentum line facing right down still. So that, you know, is the much shorter time frame we were looking at, or the longer time frame, I think it was. And then based on, you know, a few different signal charts, we are able to determine, okay, well, what is price likely to do next? So, you know, these indicators, that you're looking at here, so like this one here, for example, is the DTB advanced retracement. It's quite a simple indicator because what it's doing is it's telling us, it's giving us signals based on a specific price retracement. So for some of you who may not know, if the price retraces 200 ticks, it's going to change the coloring of the bar. So that's how this one is calculated. So if I have to zoom in a little bit over here, and there's also an automated strategy for this. So you can actually run the strategy analyzer, and you can actually run the strategy, and if you have the 200 setting in the strategy, what it will do is it will enter positions every time the price retraces that value. It'll enter a long position. So if we do this, you'll see over here, you'll see that from the price's low, the price retraced 200 ticks, and then it changed color. So the moment that it changes color, I think it's on bar close actually. So as soon as it changes color, you know that the price has retraced the value that the indicator has set. So it's just, good information to have to know, who's in control of the price, how far the price has actually retraced. And then when you're seeing something like that, you're looking for signals to go long, especially since then, the price has not retraced 200 ticks since then. So, remember last week on the call, I covered the Medina Wick Trader strategy, and I showed the trending baseline going all the way up without any retracement or break in that. Well, that's the same thing that's happened. It's the exact same thing that happened on Friday. We had the price, if I look at from where it started, this retracement, so from this point, the price has not retraced 200 ticks, and it went all the way up there, which is 1,097 ticks, over 685 bars. That's not really important, but basically that is what the price had done. And if you look at the trending baseline chart, which is this one over here, that is showing the same thing. So that was the last retracement. So you see that retracement, going down 200 ticks, 202, 204, 206 ticks, and then going up 200, and then since then, the rest of the day, it just went flying up. And the next trading day, actually. So from 3 p.m. on the 19th, all the way, to the next trading day, all the way up. And at the moment, we're obviously looking at the 21st, it's going up still. So, it's good to have a lot of information available to tell you, a few different things. And retracement is probably one of the most awesome things to look at because it's giving you a good signal. Now, you can obviously go choose any specific value that you want. So if you're trading different instruments, say you're trading, a different instrument, you might be looking at the even the YM, that might be something that you're looking at. You might think, okay, well, a 200 retracement might be too much for this one. You can actually go and adjust those values. So you can go into the indicator settings, and you can say, well, I'm trading a much smaller range where I'm looking at price reversals. Well, this has got all the Fibonacci levels on too, so probably not the best one to actually adjust. But there's your your 200. You could say, I want to look at 100 retracement, and then you can pop that on there, and then what will happen is it'll tell you when this loads. I might remove the Fibonacci retracements. Actually, I'll leave them on for right now. So basically what's happened is since the price retraced from its high, okay, to its low, well, sorry, mistake there. The price basically retraced 100 ticks to that bar, and then it retraced further, and then from its last retracement, it retraced 100 ticks from its low, and then since then, it has not retraced 100 ticks. So since that last retracement of 100, the price has gone up 356 ticks. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool tool to have in the background. And if you're looking at choosing direction, you're looking at opportunities to go long, looking at opportunities to go short, it's a good idea to have this in the background to say, okay, well, while the bars are green, while we're still within the retracement window that you are comfortable with trading within, you're looking at long opportunities. And if it's red, you're looking at short opportunities. And that can be from a few different signal charts. I mean, you might be looking at the show me the money signal chart, looking for specific long opportunities or short opportunities. So obviously, the whole time that that these bars have been green on the retracement. Okay, the whole time that they were going up on the retracement. If I can just go back to that one, I'll switch back to the NQ, and we'll switch back to this value that I was looking at a moment ago, which is 200. Just let this calculate. So while you're looking at your specific retracement level, you are looking at confirmation of that direction, and those could be long positions that you are taking. And then you can also judge where your stops and targets are, even based on those retracement levels. So really awesome tools to work with. And the reason why I'm also covering this is because I'm going to be working a lot with these signal charts, programming them, different variants of them, into more of the strategies. So how we are able to obviously optimize our automated strategies and get the best probable settings that can work. Well, in real time, while the market is actually running for this specific trading day, we can say, okay, well, based on the signal charts that we're looking at, where the price is, we're only going to take long positions. So when we're trading an automated strategy like the Medina Wick Trader strategy, or even the SI strategies, or any of the strategies, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding in an extra little button there to be able to select a signal chart. And the signal charts I'm going to be loading in is obviously show me the money. It's going to be the take it and run. I mean, the exact same thing here. While the price is, in a certain zone, you don't want to actually be taking short positions, against the overall trend. So even though we've optimized our strategies to enter long and short based on historical data over the last 4, 5, 6 months, we still want to be able to adapt to the real-time market conditions and have those signal charts control our entries. So this is leading a lot closer to the fully automated setup, where the signal charts are ultimately controlling, whether we're taking long positions, short positions, or even just staying out the market temporarily. So that's what I've been working on over this last week. As you can imagine, it's extremely detailed and intricate what I'm doing, but it's all to make a difference. So what I wanted to show you too, we were looking at the signal chart. So when you trade in the automated strategies at the moment, you are also able to choose long only, short only, and pausing the strategy. Well, it can be the same for your manual entries. Now, if you look at the chart that I've got up on the screen now, you will see that I've activated a button over here, or a little thing called the crosshair, and I've made this as global. So if you click on that on your chart and you do the same on another chart, the crosshair global, what will happen is it will show you on the chart exactly, if you look at the trending baseline chart on the top, and then you look at the bottom chart, it's showing that exact price movement. So you'll see this is the point where we had that baseline break. So if you're looking at entering short trades on a baseline break and you're seeing arrows in the opposite direction, it's probably not the best idea to be jumping into a short position. And then this movement over here, this 200 tick movement, is this bar breaking up, and since then we've basically been seeing these little wicks form. So while the price is trending up, it's forming these wicks, and you can see as the price continues to go up, these wicks are formed. Obviously very small wicks over here because the price ran extremely fast, and this was Friday's data. Okay, and this is coming back to today. So on this candle over here, if you look at the top candle, you'll see it's got a wick over there, and this wick has formed over here. So this wick formed over there, and then what happened at the exact same moment, we had an arrow form in the opposite direction to give us a hint that this price was likely to reverse. So when you see something like that, and you have got a wick forming on a trending baseline when the price has been trending up, that is also a good opportunity to either start an automated strategy or manually trade that position back up again. So a lot of people are finding good help with that, or they're finding good results trading it like that. I just want to quickly do something on this chart. So now looking at a chart like this, you're obviously seeing a trending baseline, but it's a good idea to add some of the tools on there that is going to help to identify, well, how many ticks is the price away from the baseline? How many ticks has the price traveled down that baseline, at that point? So there's a few very, very awesome little tools to add to this chart. And the first one that you can add is the tick distance counter, and that's an obvious one, because what that's going to do is it's going to tell you at the moment how many ticks the price is away from that trending baseline. So as we know, the price is either going to go down to form a new baseline, or the price is going to return to the baseline. I mean, that's the only two things that price can actually do. And the second thing that we can pop on here is the DTB wick trader indicator, trending baseline. So when you add this indicator, always add the two values together. So 2 plus 200. So you're going to add 202. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you exactly where the price needs to go for a new baseline to form. So the moment that the price touches this level over here, the moment that it touches it, you know that a new baseline is going to be formed, going down. Okay, so basically what happened is the price almost reached down to 50% of the distance needed to go down to it, and we know obviously on this chart the price is either going to return back to the baseline or it's going to come down. That's the only thing that this wick can do. So you've got, based on what you are seeing on your signal charts, you can decide, okay, are you going to activate the strategy to trade this price back to the baseline, or are you going to wait and see what price is doing around these volume breakout markers? I mean, a clear one to obviously act on would be the cyan arrow over here, because that is trading back in the direction of the baseline. So really awesome manual trades to enter, but I'm also going to be using this as a foundation for our 100% for our automated strategy. So if I go and just add on the strategy very quickly, I'll take off the Fibonacci indicator, because that is, actually I'll take both indicators off, because that is going to, I'll just try and make it as clean as possible. I'm going to go to the strategies, wrong button. Okay, so I'm going to just pop on the strategy over here. and we'll go to the Medina Wick Trader strategy. Excuse me. And I'm actually just going to pop on the setting that trades the price back to the baseline. So if you guys haven't reviewed the document for the strategy, it's a really good idea to do so. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the target and the stop based on the size of the baseline. So what happens is, because we're on a 200 tick baseline, okay, we can say we want to get an exact target ticks on wick. So we're going to target 2 ticks. So 2 ticks is the beginning of the baseline. So basically where the price is now, it's got to go within 2 ticks of the baseline, and then that target will be hit. And the stop, you can say, okay, well, I want to enter trades, and if they hit 200 ticks, which will be this almost the instant that the baseline breaks, that will stop. Okay, so I'll just activate this on the sim right now. Okay, so basically what that means is you can have the strategy open on the back end like this, having a look at your signal chart, and I'll just minimize the signal chart very slightly, not minimize it, but just reduce the size of the window itself. You don't want to reduce too much the signal chart because you want it to be as large as possible. If you can have it on a separate screen, it's even better. But in this stage, you can say, well, you're going to activate the strategy when you see an arrow confirming that the price is likely to go back to the baseline. And as soon as you see that, you can press on your start button. So that is, that's one of the things I'm going to be programming into the strategy, is looking or having a built-in signal chart like this, where it's going to be acting on arrows, their positioning, where price is, and it's going to start the strategy. It's also going to have an option to be able to pause the strategy, to not enter any new positions, until it waits for the next, highest probability signal. And this is all going to be in real time. And it's going to be able to, click the buttons to select which signal charts to use. So either that signal chart, and it's all going to be listed in there. So I'm doing a lot of back-end work on this. And it's really aimed at making this, these strategies more towards the 100% automated stage, where they can actually be activated and let to run, and basically trade this. But in the meantime, a lot of you guys are going to really enjoy just being able to manually start and pause the strategy, and let it act on those signals. So that's something that you should definitely be doing this week. I think this is something that is really going to be beneficial for you guys, working with the Medina Wick strategy like this, and even especially on like a trending or a flat baseline chart, because it's very clear what price is going to be doing. We're not looking at, there's not a lot of things that price can actually do. As we discussed, the price can only do one of 2 things. So we know that there's a very high probability of entering, having the strategy enter trades, and it's always going to enter back in the direction of the baseline. And if you want to add your Fibonacci levels, you can definitely do that. So if you go to your indicator settings again, and you pop on your trend baseline, okay, the one that we had on a minute ago, and you put your 202 over there, and then you can also say, well, what, I want to trade this strategy. I want to trade this strategy. Hang on, what's going on? You want to trade the strategy between certain levels. So you can say, okay, well, there's the minimum enter, the price, and the maximum distance that you want price to enter, you can actually adjust that. So you'll, like as an example right now, is the strategy is only going to enter trades on this wick in this very section of price. So for example, if this strategy was active earlier and we had this setting active exactly like this, it will touch within this area, enter positions, it'll put its stop over there where this red line is, and it'll put its target 2 ticks away from the baseline. So this type of, these settings can obviously be adjusted to anywhere on the wick. I mean, some people might say, well, I want to only target 150 to 196, for example. Like say, I only want the strategy to enter trades when the price is within this range, okay, and and then trade back to the baseline. So you've also got the delay first trade, which is something is handy too. But you've got the opportunity to be able to trade the strategy in very specific sections of the wick. Another cool feature with this is you can still choose your minimum distance that you want to trade. So you can say, I want the strategy to trade between where the price is now and the max enter, but I want the very first trade to only enter after the delay has passed. So you see that delay box over there? So I'll put that a bit higher because obviously it's the price did not touch that at the moment. So I'm going to just put it a little bit higher, and that'll give us a very clear indication of what these settings will look like. So when the strategy is activated like this, what will happen is the price will form these wicks. It will wait until the price has passed this delay point, and then it will enter positions and it'll enter trades all the way back to the baseline between the minimum enter and the maximum enter. So a very robust approach to trade this, and it's amazing how this price has actually gone back all the way to the baseline basically. So you see how awesome these these signal chart combinations are, looking at where price is going, where it's likely to reverse, when is a good time to enter positions. I mean, like even just getting in a little bit later on this trade over here, this very last signal that we got over here, even just getting in over there after that bar has formed, you're getting in 2 minutes later or 3 minutes later after that arrow has formed, you still have got you still can trade that price all the way back to the baseline, which is 50 odd ticks, 60 ticks. And you can see right now this price is literally at the baseline, and that wick has basically it's become a wick where it's just form price, and now it's going to run the baseline. So yeah, I don't think you guys are giving enough attention to this strategy, because see, there's the price running the baseline now. So I mean, that's what happens all day every day, is this price is going to form these wicks. You're going to get the opportunity to either start a strategy or take manual positions while looking at your your signal chart. Definitely use this crosshair thing if you want to look historically where the price was, where these candles are, where these wicks are. I mean, here's another thing over here where on the top chart, if I just let this thing go, if you look at the top chart over here, you'll see it's got these wicks. That is these arrows over here. Now, we don't know where the markers were at that stage, but you could almost guarantee that there would have been markers left behind, over here somewhere to help us trade back towards the baseline. So there we are. We've basically, you see how incredibly accurate these these signal charts are. And even if I switch now back to that previous chart, that workspace we were working on a few minutes ago, Okay, you see this was a 5 range on the MES. Okay, so that was a much smaller chart. Okay, so this was a 30, so it's a much larger chart, but notice how this momentum line started changing direction. It changed color. So if you were in a short trade over there for, on any of these markers over here, that's like your cue to get out of that short trade, because the momentum has changed direction. So even though it's far from price at the moment, there's a very strong likelihood here that all they're trying to do at the moment is push price up, take out stops, and then bring it down again. But until we get other information from these breakout markets being left behind, this price is basically running the baseline. This is the perfect example of the price running the baseline. If you look at this chart over here, there's your price running the baseline. I'll just put this on local again. See, that wick formed, and now the price is running. So are there any questions on that you guys, anybody been having any issues with this, or not understanding it clearly of how it actually works? You can even just, if you're on the Zoom, you can pop it in the chat. Otherwise, I mean, I've covered this quite a few times, but it's something that is worth repeating, because it is such a robust strategy to be able to work with, and completely manageable. I mean, you literally are managing all the settings yourself. You're choosing where the strategy can enter positions. You even selecting very specific parts of the candle of the wick where you want trades to enter. And remember, if you click on the account button, it brings up a space out trade. So you could say, well, you want to enter up to 10 positions or 10 entries, okay, 10 trades, okay. But you want every trade to be spaced out by 10 ticks. Well, that is going to basically do that. And then you can choose your retracement level. So all of these are basically, adjustable levels that can be worked with. And, it's telling you there specifically, specifically about the exact target on the wick that you are actually chasing. Okay, so we've got a question in the chat. Do I have, are there any strategies in the game plan besides baseline wick trader? Yeah, so I haven't set up the game plan this week, and this is because I'm actually wanting you guys to work on this strategy this week. It's only really been 2 weeks since we've had, the trading start for the year, and I'm not seeing very reliable data prior to that. So we've got, the last week, 2 weeks of December, the first 2 weeks of January, we haven't got enough really reliable data to go and work very accurately with these strategies. So we need a good period of time, and I would say another week will actually do it. But for this week, if you want to spend an hour or two just looking at the Medina like this and pressing start when you see a signal, like for example, like there was I pressed start earlier and entered a position, and it's either, as we can see, it's going to either go back to the baseline or break the baseline. Now we've obviously got a small target and a stop. So you'll see on here it says 2. So we are specifically targeting, if I do this data series, if I specifically center this price on scale, okay, and I increase this, you'll see that there's the target, 2 ticks, you see. So what that means is that the price is going to form these wicks, and when the price touches the 2 tick value, it's going to exit that position. So this is where you get exact targets on wicks, where where the price is going to go. So you could have multiple entries on a wick, and all of those entries will exit at the exact same spot, which is that part over there. Okay. So yeah, so I know it looks a little bit busy, the chart with the buttons, but I mean once you get to understand what they are, what they can do for you, it becomes probably one of the most exciting strategies to actually work with. Like over there, you see that the price went and hit its target, and we weren't even, and we obviously didn't activate the strategy at like the perfect spot, but we did have our signal chart. We did have the price break through these breakout markers. These momentum line is facing up. For right now, the price is running the baseline. And we could have actually been in trading positions all the way from this arrow over here, where that wick formed. So we could have really been in positions, if you were watching this earlier, having multiple trades over here, as many as you want, for this price running the baseline for over 100 ticks of profit. So that is what's possible with this setup here. Is you can be trading these wicks, trading the price back to the baseline. You're not looking at some chart where it's all complicated and you've got all different chart patterns to look out for. It's probably the simplest chart pattern that you can have is a trending baseline or a flat baseline, depending on what price is doing. The price is either trending or it's consolidating. So this displays it extremely well. And like I said, the joy coming from managing a strategy, as opposed to even just entering manual positions, I mean, it's really awesome. I mean, look at this amazing runs we've had in the baselines. We've had the price just give us incredible opportunities to enter positions. Now, this is obviously a 200 chart on the NQ or MNQ, whatever you want to use. But you can adapt this for the ES, you can adapt this for the MES, you can adapt this for the YM, any, even the 6E, I mean 6B, all of them. You can adjust what size baseline you want to work with, and all you have to do is adjust the settings in the strategy. Which is what is your exact target, what is your exact stop, and it's all based on the size of the candle that you're using. So definitely go and review the document for the strategy. So like there we had 2 trades in that short period of time. Just enter, hit the target, and we've obviously we're just targeting 2 ticks, and we got a very small window over here of where trades are entering. But this is all 100% customizable. So you could even say, what, I don't want to enter up to 196 ticks in a week. I only want to enter the first 38 ticks, as an example. Like, you can enter a trade over there. It's either going to go hit the baseline or it's going to come right down and hit a stop. Now, that's obviously a very big stop to have. But when the price is running the baseline, those trades can come in and out very quickly, as we saw over there. We had 2 quick entries because the price is currently running the baseline. Apart from that, I am working on some other really exciting things. If I show you this chart very quickly, this is something that I've been fed from someone that I work with, and this is called. You haven't got access to this indicator yet, but this is basically called a zone trader, and it's basically identifying trading zones of breakout also according to very specific times of the day. So you could basically set a time of a day and then trade a breakout zone from that time of the day. So this will be in combination with a few different data series. Not that. Let me just do something here quickly. So if I change this to like a wrong button, 1 second. Let me just change this to a 12. Just a baseline or a chart that that you can work with. So like this will be like a zone trader. So basically what happens with this is we are going to be identifying breakouts out of a trading zone and entering positions based on that. So obviously we've got a few different indicators that can work well with it that are going to be programmed into the strategy, and one of them is the breakout box. So it's basically going to be entering trades based on the last coloring of the breakout box. So like in this case, there's our trading zone. We've had a breakout of our trading zone over here, and that's where our breakout entry is going to be trading up. So we're going to have a situation where trades are going to enter there. The stop is going to be here, so nice and close stops, and then whatever target we want to chase. It'll probably be to the zero line, the next zero line. So, we've got some really amazing things in the pipeline that we are working on. This breakout is really awesome. If you guys haven't used this breakout box yet, man, you guys are missing out. Because this is also another beautiful way of identifying, when price is breaking out. So there's quite a few different indicators and things that I'm going to be using for signal charts, and this is definitely one of them. So as you can see, I've got a few things in the works that are being worked on, but you've got incredible opportunities to be able to enter positions based on what you are seeing on these signal charts. So add a few indicators together, pop them on on your trading chart, and see what magic they present. Even on the show me the money signal chart, if you load that up, let me just bring that up on another screen here. So even if you go to your, see, like at this stage now, you'll be very careful entering positions where you've got lots of divergences, lots of colored blocks. You'll be watching out for that. But we've still got amazing signal. The breakout marker left us amazing signals. We've got 20, 40, 60, 80, over 100 ticks of movement since the price actually broke out through that. But while this is on the chart quickly, I'm just going to clear some of this text. Okay, and I want to show you this breakout box. So if you guys haven't used this breakout box yet, man, it is something for sure. So I'm just going to pop this on. Okay, so we've got DTB breakout box. So this is specifically showing you where the price is in congestion. It's got a supply and demand. So it's telling us exactly where these breakouts are happening. So as soon as you load it, you will see it will paint these boxes, and these are basically breakout boxes, and these boxes appear after the bar has closed outside of them. So you're not going to see, as an example, this box over here, okay, this box over here is only going to paint green at the close of this candle over here, okay, because that is the first candle that's the first candle that broke out of that box. Okay, so this is a lagging indicator, because obviously it has to be lagging because it has to show you the candle that broke out and then where that box is. So you're not going to be able to trade this like exactly on the breakout box, because as you can imagine, if it did that, this candle here will paint a breakout box, but it has to show a candle that has broken out, and then it shows you the actual signal. So just remember that when using this. But same thing over here. On this arrow we saw from the shadow trading, we had a breakout box, and until you have a magenta breakout box in the opposite direction, you more than likely we are seeing an uptrend. Okay, so hopefully they covered that. now we're starting to see this price form a wick again, you see. So we're starting to see a wick form on this on this bar. So looking at the signal chart, you can now decide, okay, well, when is a good time to start the strategy? So you're not going to start the strategy now to go long, okay, because we are already way up here in the overbought territory. We are seeing divergence is showing us that there's a high likelihood of price reversing. So this is probably not the best time to start the strategy. But it doesn't mean that this price isn't going to quickly nick up and hit its target. It's just that there's still a high likelihood of price reversing or working at this stage. So be mindful of where you enter the strategy. You don't want to be relying on luck with this, but you do want to just decide where you want to enter. And if you got these breakout boxes in your favor, like you're seeing over here, it's showing you that the price is breaking out. It is heading, it is running the baseline, run your strategy. Okay, so obviously this one here, the price is running the baseline. So it formed this wick, and went back to the baseline. Now that was obviously, I wouldn't say 100% lucky. Because obviously the price is, like we said, only going to do one of two things, right? It's either going to run back to the baseline or form a new baseline. So if you just activate the strategy, you're looking at what the signal charts are telling you. You're looking at a few different options in the signal charts, giving you a good hint as to what price is likely to do. You've got a lot of really, really good confirmation. And until you see the price having a breakout box to the downside, this price is probably going to run up for however long it takes. Cool. So that's what I wanted to cover. So guys, I'm not preparing a game plan for this week for the baseline strategy or the SI strategy. What you can do, however, is go and look at the chats. So we've got a few. Let me just bring up my thing over here quickly. Baseline wick trader. Okay, so we do have some templates shared in here. So you're welcome to go and look at these templates in here. These were some of the results shared last week. So you're welcome to go and load up any of these templates that Christopher has shared and work with them, do even slight modifications to them, maybe even adjust the amount of trades that it takes. You don't have to enter 4 positions you can enter 1 or 2. But feel free to go look through these templates and load them up if you would like. With regards to the SI multi-filter, I'm not going to be doing templates this week for it. But in saying that, there is a template in here that I optimized on the 18th, which I think was Friday, right? What day was Friday? The Thursday. So on Thursday, I went into the SI strategy because I was doing some work on the strategy, and I just re-optimized this strategy. And this specific strategy trades from 9 a.m. to 3:50 p.m. And you'll see that it's got the last few months of data. So there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and up to January. So this is what this optimized results have actually produced from those settings, okay, with this strategy. So this specific template, if you run your script, okay, and you go into the SI strategy, you'll see it's called template to MNQ 6060 6 of August to today, blah, and that's the detail. So you can specifically load that on your trading chart. So if you want to use this as your game plan for the week ahead, you can certainly do that. This one here, I think it's a great template because it does have quite a few months worth of data loaded on it, and it has produced pretty well. Commission 625, it's got 600 odd slippage in there, So a lot has been calculated into, you know, the settings over here. So hopefully that works. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is a longer call than I was anticipating. Actually, not really. I had it running a few minutes before just to show the signal chart. But, you know, run with this. I mean, I would run with this if you specifically want a strategy to run this week on 100% automated. You know, load up this template and let it run for the week ahead. Otherwise, you know, go into the baseline wick trader, work with this. But I specifically would love you guys to look at the Medina wick trader and, you know, practice what we basically did on this call, where we loading up the strategy, and maybe even start with like a 200 chart, exactly like we did here on MNQ. You don't have to go NQ, but, you know, load up a trending baseline chart, load up the show me the money template. If you want to add this breakout box, look how the price is running the baseline, you know, and look, these breakout markers have adjusted again, you see. So there's been so much volume pumped in right now. Now we've got a major divergence showing, you know. So this was like literally, I've still got the strategy running, but I mean, this is just showing us these markers recalculating. You'll probably find that this blue one is going to, you know, stay behind at any moment for either a continuation or a reversal. I'm going to just go to this strategy here, and I'm actually going to click on this button to say in no more trades. And now this is only my sim account, obviously, so I'm not concerned about this. But, you know, even if you're trading sim, guys, with the strategies, treat it as if it is your own fund that you're actually trading. I mean, try to be sensible with starting, pausing the strategies, you know, especially if you want to learn this. I mean, a lot of people are trading this strategy and they're not looking at anything else. They're happy with this strategy, they love it, and they want more control of. The only thing that people are asking for is, you know, can you add more control in for starting, or for it automatically starting and pausing. You know, so that's what they want. See that blue marker? It just got left behind. Continuation. That's a continuation marker. You see? So it's telling us that no, this price is not. It still wants to go up. So I mean, that's another entry. You know, you've got your marker left behind. That's your entry. Go long. Go long. Go long. You know, even though the price is hitting major divergences and arrows facing the other direction, until this price drops below this breakout marker, this is going up. Cool. Excellent. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on the call, and I really hope you guys are continually amazed by these incredible tools. And even the guys who are jumping on for the complementary tools, you know, you have got unfreaking believable insight into the DTB system, you know, by opening up your signal chart that I've produced, your workspace. You guys have got unfreaking believable things over here. Look how much price has moved on, you know, since this breakout marker. There's the breakout marker. It went down almost 100 ticks and it's gone up 180 ticks. The next marker was left behind, 46 ticks. I mean, it is freaking unbelievable what you guys have access to. So use it wisely, and before long you'll want to be on the full DTB system, because that way you're able to, you know, identify more of the trends, how they work, and when to get in on them. Thanks guys, have a good